Let's do TCS. As the name stands, tax collected at source. What is the meaning of tax collected at source? Now you are going to make the payment, plus you are also going to you are going to pay the tax on it. Like what you do for GST. GST you are paying 100 plus GST. Here in TCS, because there are certain goods which the government has identified, they are saying you will make the payment, and you will also, because you are buying these goods, you are going to pay tax also to the government. So this is direct tax, which is similar to indirect tax, which is similar to your GST. So you will pay tax, and who will collect it? The seller will collect the tax, or the provider of service. Now let's see, this is only for goods. Now, tax collection at source under 260C, 206C. Tax collection at source is under 206C of the Income Tax Act when the seller who is selling certain goods or services is required to collect tax from the purchaser. You are purchasing goods from me, I am selling it to you, I will take the price of the good plus I'll collect the tax. Why? Because they want to minimize tax evasion by collecting tax directly from the source of transaction. Now, let's see what kind of goods. There isn't a very long list. You'll see there are hardly around 6 7 items. Okay, liquor, 1% TCS. So you will pay the value of the liquor, you will pay VAT, you will pay GST, you will pay 1% TCS. Foreign liquor, 1%. Okay, any kind of liquor, remember, 1%. Tendu leaves, 5%. Timber, 2.5%. Any other forest, 2.5%. So forest, remember, is 2.5%. Scrap, 1%. Minerals being coal or lignite or iron ore, 1%. Now this is basically not goods, but this is a service. Grant, parking lot, toll plaza, 2% TCS. So if you get a parking lot, next time you see the breakup, you will see the value plus you will see TCS, which is collected 2%. Motor vehicle of the value exceeding 10 lakhs. If you are purchasing high end vehicles, any vehicle that is more than 10 lakhs, you are paying 1% TCS on it. Okay. Now this is something new which has been added. It is liberalized remittance scheme and a seller of an overseas tour package. Basically, remember, if I want to send money abroad, okay, for whatever, I'm traveling, I want to purchase a tour package in Europe because I'm traveling to Europe, I want to see Europe. They will say that, okay, I will say I want to transfer at least 10 lakhs, I'm going for a month. They will say pay 10 lakhs plus 20% TCS of the transaction amount. Okay. Now, liberalized remittance scheme says a seller of an overseas tour program package or authorized dealers, because authorized dealers are nothing but banks, must collect from buyers at the time of sale and even at the time of transfer 20% TCS of the transaction amount. Here, see this example, self-explanatory. You want to remit 10,000 USD outside. You will now remit 10,000, 20% of 10,000 TCS is collected. So basically, you end up paying 12,000 USD. Similarly, for TCS, for a tour package. Okay. However, these parts are exempted. Exemption for education and medical treatment. However, this amount is no TCS is collected if remittance is less than 7 lakhs. But if it is more than 7 lakhs in a financial year, there also TCS are 20%. A TCS rate of 5% applies to an amount of 7 lakhs in any financial year for education or medical treatment. Or lower rate of 0.5% TCS rate is applied to an amount exceeding 7 lakhs in a financial year if the remittance is a loan from a financial institution for education purpose. So let's say if I have to pay a fees of 10 lakhs, but I don't have 10 lakhs, I take money from a bank. So they are saying, fine, then your TCS rate is not even 5%, it is 0.5%. Okay. If, Okay, higher TCS rate for non-provision of PAN or Aadhaar. Now I go to purchase a car, I give them 12 lakh rupees. Now they say give me your PAN card. I'm saying I'm not ready to give my PAN or Aadhaar. In that case, they will collect a higher TCS rate of 10%. Otherwise, how much it is? 1%. Okay, for car we saw. Now it will be 10% because you're not giving your PAN and Aadhaar. Okay. A seller who receives consideration for sale of any goods exceeding 50 lakhs in any previous year other than goods being exported out of India or goods covered elsewhere under this section at the time of receipt of such amount, collect from the buyer TCS at the rate of 1% of the sale consideration exceeding rupees 50 lakhs. TCS at the rate of 1% if no PAN or Aadhaar is furnished by the buyer. So any seller who receives consideration for sale of goods. So I am selling goods. I have received consideration more than 50 lakhs. Okay, and this is not for export. I will have to collect from you another 0.1 TCS. Okay. Now I should collect the TCS and this TCS collection should be done at the time of payment, that is collecting the TCS has to be debited by the buyer's account on receiving payment. Goods or manufacturing processing are exempt. This you remember. So when I'm saying selling of goods, it doesn't mean manufacturing. Licensee or lessee in public sector companies, then TCS is not applicable because it's a public sector government company. Authorized dealers do not collect TCS on amounts where sellers have already collected TCS. So if I'm sending, what does it mean? If I'm sending money to a tour company, but the seller of the tour package has already collected TCS, then the bank will not collect TCS, authorized dealer bank. No TCS if the buyer is liable for TDS and has deducted TDS. So if the TDS has been deducted, then no TCS will be collected. Okay. Specific for TCS on sales exceeding 50 lakhs, sellers with total sales turnover exceeding 10 crores in previous financial year are subject to collection of TCS. Remember this 50 lakhs, not small sellers, but whose turnovers are more than 10 crores. Now you have to furnish the PAN. Okay, collectee shall furnish the PAN or to the person responsible for collecting such tax. If PAN is not there, then it shall collect twice the normal rate or 5%, whichever is higher, subject to maximum of 20% TCS can be collected. That is the max. So you have to declare the PAN number. Okay, then lower tax collection certificate shall not be granted unless you give a PAN. You have to give the PAN number. The collectee shall furnish his PAN to the collector. Both shall indicate the same in all correspondence, bills, vouchers. Where the PAN provides by the collectee is invalid or it does not belong to the collectee, it shall deem that the PAN has not been furnished. So if you give a wrong PAN, obviously it will be that there is no PAN that has been furnished. Section 206AB and 206 CCA have been inserted to provide a higher rate of TCS for those who are not filing the return of income. I am not filing my return of income, yearly income, is to a specified person where any sum where tax is required to be withheld under 192, 192A, BA, BB, okay, all of this under these sections. So these sections will not be applicable because anyway over here you're paying higher tax. BA, etc., BB, BB, all of this you're paying 30%. They're saying other than this, the 206B is applicable on any sum paid or payable or credited by a deductee to a specified person. The withholding tax rate shall be twice the rate if it is TCS or at the rate of the time in force. Okay, 206 CCA will be applied on any sum or amount received by the collectee from a specified person. The tax collection rate in the said section shall be twice the rate specified or 5%. Further, if the provisions of section 206 AA or section 206 CC are applicable to our specified person in addition to the said section, that is section 206 AB or 206 CCA, the tax shall be deducted collected at higher of the two rates provided in sections 206A-B and 206A. Basically, you have to pay, all of this says higher tax to be paid if you are not furnishing the PAN. Okay. The term specified person does not include a non-resident who does not have a PAN. Basically, if you have a PAN, you have to submit the PAN. If you do not submit it, then as stated in the above paragraph, you have to pay a higher rate of tax, that is double. Okay, then they are saying that there are persons who have not filed their return. In that case also you have to pay higher rate of tax, for which the time limit for furnishing return has expired and the aggregate of tax, the TDS and tax collected in this case is rupees 50,000 or more in the previous year. Okay, so are applicable to specify. Further, if the provisions of 206A are applicable to specified persons, basically who specified person whose TDS is only deducted of more than 5 lakhs of 50,000. Sorry, TDS is deducted of more than 50,000 in the previous year. The tax shall be deducted at a higher of the two rates in section 206A. Okay, and he has to also give the PAN number. So what is the difference between TDS and TCS? Simple. TCS is collection. TDS is when you are making the payment, it will be deducted. It is deducted by the buyer. Here it is collected by a seller. The buyer is liable, here the seller is liable. For whom it is applicable? Any person making a specified payment. So if you buy Tendu leaves, alcohol, timber, or a car about 10 lakhs, in all these cases TCS will be collected. Or if you are taking a toll, parking toll fees, etc. Similarly, if for TDS is for all that we had studied. Okay, specified goods, but it will not be goods in the manufacturing sector. Sale of goods we saw already. Seller should collect the tax or receipt of amount from the buyer. So you will receive the amount. Done. That's it. So if you're not filing return, higher rate, and if you're not giving your PAN. Okay. This is it. Your TCS is also done. Very easy.